If you can't strike and you can't protest, the system thinks that it owns you. Resistance doesn't have to be loud and dangerous. There are small, almost invisible ways that you can impact the system. Most people aren't lazy. They're actually being held hostage with this mindset of, you do it, not me. I'm going to be over here watching. And when you're told the only way to resist is to strike, knowing that healthcare is tied to your boss, it can feel like a prison. My question is, what does do something mean to you? Because by the end of this, you're going to have a bunch of things to choose from to help you actually take action, even if you feel paralyzed. Here's the thing. The people who want to take action are already taking action. The problem is that a lot of the actions they are taking are probably the ones that you don't like. So when you get outraged, what are you going to do about it? I get it. It's overwhelming, but we have to organize. We can't rely on other people to do it. Organizing doesn't have to be done through a formal organization. In my opinion, the less centralized it is, the better. But whatever you choose to do, you have to make sure that it's within your ability to get done, like actually done. Not just say that you'll do it, but actually do it. And of this list, if you can't find anything that you can do, your right to criticize is revoked. I haven't said this on my channel in a while, but if you're not willing to do something about a problem, then stop complaining. We all want to do these big things, but we end up doing very little or even nothing at all. I need you to know that a lot of tiny things put together can become something that's massive. We really have to stop putting everything in the hands of an authority and start taking care of it ourselves, a little DIY, if you will. But before I get to this list, hi, I talk about hard things with a soft voice. Thank you to everybody who supported me with a coffee or a super chat. I've pulled back on these videos a bit for health reasons. If you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss my next video. When is it? I don't know. I'm supposed to see you on Tuesdays, but this one is late and the next one will probably be late too. These are a mix of simple and robust actions that we can all take. By all means, it's not an exclusive list, and I trust that we can gather in the comments and come up with more ideas for resistance. Not everybody is flush with money. If that's you, you can donate your time. Find a group near you that's working on a cause that you believe in and support it. Think outside of what's expected. There are childcare facilities, animal shelters, senior centers, clinics, and food banks out there that need you. If you're flush with money, you can donate your time, but donate some money too. You don't know how far $5 a month goes. As a person who's made several sacrifices to fight what's happening, my monthly coffee subscribers are a lifeline. And that's why I thank them in every single one of my videos. Imagine what a $5 a month donation could do to support a refuge for people who have lost their homes or for hungry families. Money could be pooled to pay off people's medical debt or buy out their student loan debt and forgive it. To do something like that, we need organizers. If you're that person at work who everybody praises for your organizational skills, put them to use in your community. You can compile a list of companies that support this regime. We can find their subcontractors that provide services to them, and you're going to tell us who to put the pressure on and why. And then somebody who's communication savvy can share that information via social media or word of mouth or whatever medium suits you. That's going to help the masses know when to question a corporation about its ethics, its policies, its partnerships in public. And it tells us to avoid using these businesses when possible or to return the products that we bought from these companies for a full refund while citing minor defects so they can pay for it twice. Let's cancel subscriptions to companies funding the harm. Let's do self-imposed long-term boycotts of these corporations' entire products line and their brand ecosystem. And just because Bobby down the street isn't doing it doesn't mean that you aren't making an impact. The organizer doesn't have to find this information. I used to work with somebody really good at digging up facts. If you had a question, she found a detailed answer. We need people like that who find the problem companies so that they can be exposed. A great resource for finding the connections is littlesis.org. They have a Map the Power toolkit that helps connect the dots. I've linked the page in the video description. And their page called "The Billionaire Oligarchs and Corporations Profiting from ICE's Deportation Machine" is worth the visit alone. One of the most important things right now is being aware of what's happening, understanding where that information is coming from and who is actually behind it. It's important to audit who we're following and where that information is coming from. With social media, I follow people who provide resources so that I can dig deeper. For those sources, I actually use Ground News. It's an app and a website that combines news from around the world in one place so that you can compare coverage. And for every single source, you can see if it has a political bias. You can also see how reliable the reporting is and who owns them. That way, you can think critically about the information that you're taking in. You can feel free to subscribe through my link in the video description to get 40% off of the Vantage subscription, and that's the one that I use to get unlimited access to every feature. That way, you can stay informed while Ground News makes the media landscape more transparent. When you're consuming that information, keep the people around you informed about what's happening, especially the ones who avoid politics. Share that information on social media or in conversation. If you're skilled at social media, create content that feeds the pipeline to the left. We are here because of comedy and fitness and tech influencers who fed people into a specific pipeline by sowing doubt. Their content made people more comfortable with fake intellectuals and the manosphere, which led them to take the red pill. And some of them, they've had their stomachs pumped, and others, they're still under the illusion. We need creators making aesthetically pleasing, entertaining content that subliminally shifts their minds to a belief system that doesn't harm other people. You can start a simple podcast from home, interviewing friends or experts or community members about issues, suppressed histories, practical resistance strategies. And if you don't want to be the face of the content, be the voice behind it and create simple scripts about what's happening and partner with creators to turn them into videos or comic books and zines. Did I mention that the content should be entertaining? We have to emphasize that. Sometimes we push people away because we're too, I don't know, and the content we create doesn't have to be digital only. This is where the artsy people come in. We need subversive art. Think flyers and zines and paintings, essays and poetry and music. These are how to guides of resistance. In the medium that you choose, design simple, shareable graphics or short videos that explain complex ideas in an accessible and engaging way. And if you're not an artist, you can still take part by placing a book or a zine in a waiting room or on a bus seat or in a break room. You'll help spread the message. You can do it online too by dedicating time to amplify activist voices and their artwork. Are you the type of person who compiles information? Then keep records of what's happening, preferably in a way that can't be digitally manipulated. It could be published in an online journal that you own, not Substack. It has to be a space that the host can't delete what's been published. Pick an issue and then track it. Use the Wayback Machine to archive websites and news articles or social media posts that document injustice or state violence. We need people who can create a system to collect and preserve information, both online and offline. This is how we're going to prevent erasure. While we're online, when we get ads on social media, for the companies we won't be buying from, click the ad. Have fun filling your cart and go all the way to checkout, but don't you dare buy anything. Analytics are a funny thing when they're wrong. Feeding it garbage is the simplest way to resist. Yes, you will get more ads from that company, but the pleasure of knowing that you're wasting their ad budget is priceless. Since we're talking about online presence, can we agree to opt out of giving away our data? We really have to minimize our collective digital footprints. The reason why was very well said in Monsters, Inc. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching. Always. So let's make it harder for them to do that. Let's all delete our unused accounts. Let's spend 10 minutes one evening just opting out of a broker or deleting an unused app that you know is privacy invasive. Let's start using privacy focused alternatives. If you haven't already, install ad and tracker blockers. You can file opt out requests with data brokers to reduce your surveillance footprint. Y'all know I use a service for that. You can check out my last video to know more about it. And not everybody is skilled enough to do things like that. If you're tech savvy, share your technical skills. You can help people and organizations secure their communications and encrypt their data and protect themselves from digital surveillance. You can offer your tech skills remotely or in person, whichever you're comfortable with. I'm still gagging over that Nest Super Bowl commercial. Please do not opt in. For a local mutual aid network, word of mouth is essential, but it also needs people who can organize and test a secure encrypted phone or message tree that can be activated really quickly to give alerts or to mobilize people. Mutual aid doesn't always have to be in person. Offer help from your house. You can manage schedules, you can coordinate resources, you can handle communications. Organize a virtual meeting to read and discuss books on history or theory or strategy. You can even train people in first aid and crisis response so that they can operate independently during disruptions. You can teach and learn self reliance skills. Think basic home and car repair, food preservation, digital security. You can create a tool library, a seed library, a non monetary childcare network. That was a lot, but I have more on a list, and I'm just gonna read through what I have here. In conversations, when somebody says something biased and states that it's fact, say, "I don't get it," and then make that person explain it until they're uncomfortable. When somebody tells a hateful joke, don't laugh. Just look at them and let them bathe in their discomfort. When you're asked for a store loyalty card at checkout, don't give them your data. Keep an old wiped phone on you. If pressured by police or by a snowman to unlock your phone, you can hand that one to them. When you encounter a form that has a leading multiple choice question, select the option that subverts its intent. This next one is personal. If you hear someone praised for being so articulate or well spoken in a way that implies surprise due to their identity, call it out. Move your money out of these national banks and into a credit union. Frankly, it saves you money because the fees are much lower and your savings rate tends to be higher. So you're going to make more money anyway. That is, if you have savings. Transform an abandoned lot or a neglected public space into a community garden that grows free food. If it's neglected, the HOA shouldn't be a problem. Grow medicinal herbs, vegetables, native plants on your balcony and your yard. Share the seeds, share the seedlings, and share the knowledge that you've gotten from growing it with your neighbors and people to foster food resilience. If you're multilingual, translate important activist resources into other languages. Prepare your home to be safe, safe for you and possibly for someone in need. Your community is going to tell you when somebody needs help. I know a lot of people can't afford to participate in a general strike. There aren't any safety nets. Healthcare is tied to employment. We're fighting a system that we can't just opt out of. Corporations could wait us out. People could starve. It's hard to organize 342 million people. This country thrives on individualism. Not everyone is against this regime. The US is so big that some people would have to drive 4 hours just to attend an event. We're outgunned. The police are looking for a reason to brutalize us. We have the biggest military in the world, and that military is very conservative. The National Guard would put everybody in jail. They have tanks and tear gas. The Germans didn't liberate Germany. Did I miss anything? At the end of the day, people are already getting killed in the streets. And 47 is mentioned in those files more than Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. You're not overthinking what's happening, you're just using your brain. But how much more bile do you have to take before doing something small? If you're already doing something, well done. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.